How'd you find Ada?
There was a tear in the dark world when she was created. That's how I escaped. The thing in me is drawn to dark matter the way your GPS tracks my car.
So you're saying Ada's made of the same stuff as the Darkhold?
Yeah. And the writer wants to send them both back to where they came from.
I hope that means hell.
Hell is relative. Dimensions, space, planets, it's all connected. Plenty of them qualify as hell. The Earth is just one territory in a war that's been going on forever. Yeah. I have to get this book someplace safe. Keep an eye on my brother.
The gateway's almost ready.
Don't need it. Learned a few things since you saw me last. I don't envy you.
I was gonna say the same to you.
Ghost Rider, I've come to bargain, so we gotta talk about that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. finale, and I'll explain what's going on with Season 5 and Inhumans. Just careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. There's a Spider-Man giveaway that's going on right now for the action figures. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. So I know there's so many questions about what happened during the finale with the Ghost Rider character. Where did he go? Where did Phil Coulson end up at the end of the episode? What happened with Ada? And what is this giant intergalactic, interdimensional war that Ghost Rider was teasing? So that's the reason why I included that clip. Probably the most important thing for the next season and what's coming on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The idea that your Earth is just one Earth in many, and you're part of a conflict that's been going on for all of eternity. And that's nothing to say about what's going on with the Inhumans TV show, which is coming this fall, as well as what happened with them getting rid of Ada in this episode. Is she truly gone? Like she turned to ash? It seems like she's gone, but then Radcliffe just vanishes midair while he's raising his drink glass up, like somebody teleported in and then teleported him out before he could take a drink. I'm just going to talk about the stuff in this episode first, then I'll talk about Season 5, then I'll talk about Inhumans crossover, because we have been confirmed for a full season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5. That's 22 episodes total. So we gotta say it, two of the best moments in this episode are one, Ghost Rider Daisy team up, then Coulson walks in and says, "Oh, I missed it, the two of you together." Like, we know Coulson is a big collector, he reads comics, that's what the Captain America trading cards were all about. He's the super nerd of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so he just geeks out when he sees Ghost Rider and Daisy teaming up. But then to top it off, the Spirit of Vengeance passes into Coulson so they can trick Ada and kill her. Ryder Coulson, right on. So we just love the fact that they're able to let the Coulson character have all the fun. And that's kind of the way it's been in all the Marvel movies. He's the guy that gets to interact with all the different Avengers. He gets to geek out over his hero, Captain America. "I watched you while you sleep." Probably still one of the funniest lines in any Avengers movie ever. But really the big twist of the episode was in that there's a bargain that he made as part of him taking the Rider into him so that they could kill Ada. "You know the deal you made, I don't envy you." So there's like this bargain that Coulson made in order to make that switch happen, and we don't know what that is, but presumably it has something to do with him winding up in outer space here. So I am going to do like a Season 5 teaser video where I'll explain a little bit about what's going on here, but what they're teasing is that they're pushing into this story that Ghost Rider teases, the war that's been going on for an eternity that goes way beyond planet Earth. That sort of links up with Ghost Rider using his sling ring technique with the chain. If you guys didn't spot that, that's a big Doctor Strange thing. They use the sling ring on that movie to open portals to wherever they want to go. They can go between dimensions, they can go between places on Earth. It could be as casual or as big as they want. And now Ghost Rider has learned to do it in the time that he's been gone using his Hell Chain. So there's a lot of Doctor Strange stuff that they're pushing into is in extra dimensional sword stuff. So you have a bunch of different planets all across the multiverse. Ghost Rider looks like he goes back to the dark dimension. Like it looks like this rocky plain that just, no vegetation, just really dark and gritty. The place that he's been this whole time, where he sent his uncle, where he's going to store the Darkhold. So if you don't know what SWORD is from the comics, it's sort of like a S.H.I.E.L.D. organization, but for outer space. But the stuff they're teasing on S.H.I.E.L.D. is multiverse. So during Doctor Strange, there's the dark dimension where Dormammu is from. Ghost Rider mentions the dark world, which could potentially be a different place, but he says hell is relative. It's just one of many planets, each one worse than the next. So it's their way of doing dark dimension Dormammu type stuff without actually having to bring Dormammu onto the screen. But Mephisto is probably the likely candidate if they ever choose to do some big cosmic entity. So yes, I do think that Ghost Rider will return next season. They haven't announced what the official storyline is going to be or what they're going to call it. We just know that Coulson has been taken by people that look like they're from Earth, that have crazy technology, and he is working as part of a bargain. Like, he doesn't seem like he has a gun to his head when he says, time to get to work, like he's working in some big space factory or something like that. But it all goes back to that bargain he made with the Rider, and is probably tied to this intergalactic dimensional war that Ghost Rider was teasing. So there were a whole bunch of Easter eggs during the episode. They even had some Whedonverse shoutouts because Joss Whedon was the creator, the executive producer of the show, but his brother Jed Whedon and his wife Marissa Tancheron, they basically run the show. But they try to include as many Joss Whedon jokes as possible. So like they say that Ghost Rider got sucked into a hellmouth, that's something from the Buffy TV show. But the SWORD agency in the comics debuted during Joss Whedon's Astonishing X-Men run. So SWORD is also kind of like a Whedonverse thing too. But let me know in the comments who here wishes that they would have actually started Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this place here. You can understand how they kind of had to work up to it. First, they had to explain what Inhumans were. They had to deal with the Hydra arc because that was a big thing in the movies. They were trying to be as connected as possible. Now that we know who Inhumans are, and we know about Doctor Strange, we know about the multiverse, and we know about magic, they can do all the mystical things. But you can see how Infinity War is coming. It's an intergalactic, universal war that's going to be coming thanks to Thanos. So they're teasing something on that scale with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., even though I'm not expecting S.H.I.E.L.D. characters to be in any of those Avengers movies. Ghost Rider's fair game, but right now I think the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show has claim to him. Now when we get to Inhumans, that's a completely different story. So just to explain what's going on with that in the fall, Inhumans is going to premiere. It'll be a Friday night TV show. It'll run for 8 episodes, and then after the finale, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5 will just take that time slot. So S.H.I.E.L.D. and Inhumans are now Friday night shows. The first Inhumans episodes won't drop till August. That'll be in IMAX, and then they'll air everything on TV. It'll be on the ABC network, so the same place you watch S.H.I.E.L.D. right now is where the Inhumans TV show is going to premiere. There was an Inhumans trailer that they played this week for the upfronts, but they haven't posted that online. When they do, I'll totally do a video for it. They're like, yeah, it feels very Game of Thrones-y in the Marvel Universe. So I was like, great, I love Game of Thrones, I love Marvel, we'll see how this goes. But I feel like Ghost Rider was probably the best decision that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. made this year. They were totally solid. I feel like they had a lot more fun just because they knew that it might be their last season. So hopefully, now that it's on Friday nights and it's a little bit later in the evening, they can be way more hardcore. This was a pretty hardcore episode. So let me know in the comments, what did you think about the episode? What do you think about the series now? What do you want them to do with the Inhumans TV show? There'll be a lot more Inhumans stuff happening this summer because they'll come to Comic-Con, there'll be footage for that. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, but what's going to happen next is I'll post my Arrow video, there'll be an Arrow finale trailer, and then I'll post Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5 teaser. So just be sure to check your notifications, check my channel page, like my videos tab, just to see when I'm posting stuff. But you can click here for my Flash trailer, and you can click here for brand new Spider-Man Homecoming. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.